Okay, good morning, guys, or good afternoon. Today I'm going to talk about aquatic ecosystem. An aquatic ecosystem is basically how life underwater, let me just say life underwater or near water. Yeah, and sorry, let me just go to the next page. Okay, aquatic. It's a habitat, it's part of an ecosystem. The climate, plants, and animals are the identity of an habitat. Ecosystems primarily have two domains: land ecosystems, aquatic or water ecosystems. Now, water supports many lives, but organisms which survive in water are called aquatic organisms. They depend on water for their food, shelter, reproduction, and all other life activities. Now, humans cannot be put in a category like this. We do not really depend on water, but we need water for our survival, for us to be hydrated. Yeah. But the other animals that remove them out of the water, their body temperatures will change and they might die in seconds. So this is how animals need to survive based on aquatic. Okay, we also have those two animals where they survive in water and land. Yeah, those animals are very special. But the other animals that they really need to be on water for them to survive. So an aquatic ecosystem includes a group of interacting organisms which dependent on one another and their water environment for nutrients and shelter. Examples of aquatic ecosystems include oceans, lakes, and rivers. Now, types of aquatic. We have an aquatic ecosystem, and this is how a typical example of how everything is in one place. An aquatic ecosystem, it's let's say an ocean or a fresh water body, which is a lake. Now, usually you find like plants growing underwater, you find different kinds of fish, predators that are also fish. Yeah, so let me just give you like these are like the type of fishes that you can find underwater. Now, these ones you find them usually in the oceans. Like all these, I think now all ocean types of organisms. They're so beautiful though. Yeah, I think this is a tortoise. Usually, usually you can find it near water. It can survive in land and water. One of the very most unique animals in the world. Then we have starfish. Starfish, usually find them deep underwater, and they are one of the most unique organisms you find them underwater. Now, let me just go back to the PowerPoint. Now we got freshwater ecosystems. Now, they cover only a small portion of the Earth, nearly 0.8%, which is very small. But usually freshwater, it's where you find one of the most unique organisms in the world, like fish, stuff like that. You usually find them in places like lakes, rivers, sanctuaries, stuff like that. Now, freshwater involves lakes, ponds, rivers and streams, wetlands, swamp, and temporary pools. Freshwater habitats are classified into lotic and lentrotic habitats. Water bodies such as lakes, ponds, pools, and other reservoirs are standing water, and known as electrical habitat, whereas erotic habitat represents flowing water bodies such as rivers, streams. Now, erotic ecosystem, they mainly refer to the rapidly flowing waters that move in anti-directional way, including the rivers and streams. Now, these environments harbor numerous species of insects, such as beetles, mayflies, stoneflies, and several species of fishes, including trouts, eel, etc. Apart from these aquatic species, these ecosystems also include various mammals such as beavers, river dolphins, and otters. Sorry for that. Now, elected ecosystems. They include all standing water habitats. Lakes, ponds are the main examples of lakeland ecosystems. The word lakeland mainly refers to the stationary or relatively still water. Now, these ecosystems are home to algae, crabs, shrimps, and other organisms such as frogs, for both rooted and floating-leaved plants and reptiles, including alligators and other water snakes also found here. Now, in the freshwater, you can find a lot of animals, like snakes need to be near water too. Crocodiles, other stuff like that, frogs, flies even. Now, the marine aquatic ecosystem. The marine ecosystem covers the largest surface area of the Earth. Two-thirds of the Earth is covered by water and constitutes of ocean, seas, found reefs, sanctuaries, vents, and rock pools. Now, each life form is unique and native its inhabitant. Now, this is because they have adaptive according to their habitats. In the case of aquatic animals, they can't survive outside of water. Exception cases, there's two there, which shows another example of adaptation. Now, the marine ecosystem is more concentrated, with salts making it difficult for freshwater organisms to live in. Also, marine animals cannot survive in fresh water. The body is adapted to live in salt water. So basically what I was saying is that fresh waters and the marine waters are different. Fresh water, there's no salt in it, while in marine aquatic ecosystem, the types of animals that survive there are animals that live under salty conditions. And you can never exchange animals to change their destination of living. They will probably die in a matter of weeks or days or even minutes. Now we have the ocean ecosystem. Our planet Earth is gifted with 5 major oceans: the Pacific, the Ocean, the Arctic, and the Pacific and the Antarctica. Among all these oceans, the Pacific and Antarctica are the largest, deepest oceans, and these oceans serve home to more than 5 different kinds of species in the world. And this ocean ecosystem holds a lot of benefits to our living, and this is how transportation for shipping goods and other stuff, we go through oceans for us to deliver our stuff.